Welcome and thank you for joining us for yet another episode of
La Tertulia.
Episode 4, actually. And for those of you who may not know us yet, my name's Clayton and
This is Jada.
And we are the co-founders and owners of Jibarita's Corner. Jada creates her own natural hair care products, and you are now listening to the companion podcast, La Tertulia. So for those of you who have been keeping up with our business, we just wanted to give you a quick update before we jump into our interview with our lovely guest today. So first off, we wanted to you might have noticed, we've invested a little bit more into the La Tertulia podcasting setup, so you can hear our beautiful voices with even more crystal clarity. And I've also spent some time researching and practicing with our podcasting software. Here. Ooh. Wow. So I've spent some time practicing with that to bring you all an even more enjoyable experience to listen and to watch. So thank you all for those who've tuned in so far. So I believe we've gotten over 150 views on all 3 episodes so far, which is amazing. And we really appreciate the support. And for those of you who thought we were joking around on our previous episodes about upcoming products, Jara, why don't you show what we got in the mail?
Yes, let me show you really quick. Ta-da!
And that is a giant shampoo and conditioner bar, or I guess soap bar, mold. It's got a little silicone sleeve inside. So we've gotten a bunch of these things, and we are going to be getting more serious about getting the conditioner and shampoo bars out to you. And actually, we're going to try something new this episode as well. There will be a link in the description for a survey containing some of the scents and essential oils that we have access to, and we'd love to know which scents that you'd be most interested in seeing in a shampoo or conditioner bar. So for those of you who can take 30 seconds to fill that survey out, we'd really appreciate it. And if not, all good. Stay tuned. We will have more information and pictures coming soon.
Yes.
And finally, I know we're starting to sound like a little bit of a broken record, but just wanted to thank everybody who's been patient. We are still seeing some sporadic issues with orders being shipped out, particularly orders to Puerto Rico. It's a very long journey. So just a thank you once again to everybody who has been patient while we work out basically making it right with you, whether that's refunding your money or getting you the product that you ordered maybe a little bit later. We just want to make sure that we make things right.
Yes, also I wanted to add, thank you Clayton for making that amazing introduction. I also wanted to add that we are looking in ways to improve our current formulation, so it kind of holds the change in the, from being like the weather from Illinois to like the weather to Puerto Rico. So we're just trying to make it right and see how we can improve the formulation as well.
It's big temperature swings, as we've mentioned before, and we want to keep everything natural and healthy. So just Jayra's been hitting the books hard, and thank you everybody again for being patient as we correct those orders that did have issues.
Thank you.
And I guess with that, without further ado, let's get to our guest. Thank you for joining us, and everybody have a great day. Enjoy the episode.
And I'm very, very pleased to introduce our guest, Kaylee Ann Diaz. She is like a super hustler. She is a nutritional and fitness coach. She is a chemical engineer. And she also recently launched her Activewear line. So yeah, with you, I'm very pleased to introduce you, Kaylee Ann Diaz.
Hello, thank you so much for having me in your podcast. I'm very grateful and excited about this opportunity.
Yeah, we're really excited to have you. Actually, you're our second guest in our podcast. And we would like to start hitting a little bit about your background. You're into a lot. You're into fitness. You're a chemical engineer. How did you end up? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So let me start. So I went to University of Puerto Rico, Maya West, and I studied chemical engineering over there. So I moved in 2016 to United States to work here as a chemical engineer, right? In 2000 actually, and then in 2013 is when I started my fitness journey. And that's when I started like working out and like eating better. And to let you know, like I never did like any exercise when I was little. I never was part of any sport or anything. So when I started like in 2013, that was like new thing for me. So I really got addicted to it. So I started running. Like in 2013, I was just like training for running. I was doing a lot of 5Ks, 10Ks. And then in 2014, I came to United States to do an internship with the company that I am working right now. And then that's when I started like into Instagram, and that's when the Instagram started everything. So I started following like fitness like influencers, and I was like, wow, they look great, and I would like to, look like that. So I bought one of these online programs, and actually it worked so good. I was like following very strict, and I saw how my body changed, because at the beginning I was more into it just for losing a little weight, but also as part of like stress relief, and it was a hobby for me. But then when I saw the change in my body after I changed my nutrition, I changed, like I was lifting weights this time. I wasn't doing cardio anymore. I was like lifting weights. That was something new for me. Then I decided that, this is what I want to, I like to do. I would like to help other people to do the same, right? That's when I decided to certify as a fitness coach. And so when I certified as a fitness coach in 2017, yes, I started to like having online coaching, and I was having a lot of clients, and I got to a point where I was having a lot of people that I wasn't able to, like commit to all of them at the same time, because I was working full time too.
Right. Oh, right. Yeah.
Wow,
yeah,
and 2 full-time jobs, like technically, right?
Yes, and still I'm doing my full-time job, and actually my schedule is a little like, not weird, but it's different because I work like 9 hours every day. But sometimes I have to stay more, depends, because I am a production engineer, so I am the focal point for a plant. So if something is going on, something is happening, and we have a shutdown in the plant, then I have to respond to it. So sometimes I get called at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m.
Oh, so you're on call.
Wow.
Yes, I'm on call as well.
Okay.
So, and then, so working full time, so I started doing the fitness coaching too as well. So when I was leaving work, then that was my other thing, like following up with my clients, like building programs for other clients that I was getting at the same time. So, but it was a good journey, like to do that. And I want to go back to do it. Right now, I just have one client because he asked me for it. And I was like, you know what? Okay, I will do it because it's just for you. So that's how I've been into the fitness. And I got so addicted that in 2018, I started to do bodybuilding. So I compete twice. The first time, I hired a competition coach. And then the second time, I coached myself. Wow. And that was a totally different experience. Yeah.
This was in the United States still?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That was here. I went to Los Angeles, California, in my first one. And my second one was here in Houston, Texas.
Wow. What motivated you to like start your bodybuilding training and competition?
Well, so I was like, already I had the lifestyle, right? I just had to like do some tweaks here and there so I can like have the competition body, right? But I had already the habits, and I was training usually I was training like 2 hours a day. And usually I was waking up at 4 a.m. and going to the gym at that time. And also I was having the eating like right and healthy habits and I already was fit. And some people was like, why you don't compete? And I was like, I don't know. There's a lot, because it's a lot of sacrifices you have to do, right? And it's time consuming as well.
Mental aspect.
But I was like, just give me, let me give this some, chance and see how it goes.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. And like, imagine like the mental aspect of like, was there like a mental transition that you had to go through? Or it was like
Yes.
smooth? Oh, okay.
Yes, you know, like it's like you have to train your mind as well, right? Because there's day where you don't want to do anything. There's day where you wake up and I'm like, I don't want to train. I don't want to like eat healthy. I want to eat like a cake, right? But you have to have the discipline and tell yourself like, no, why you are doing this, like, right? The first thing is like, why I'm doing this, why I want to compete, right? And for me, it was a goal. For me, it was like I would say like a bucket list. And my first one, it was a bucket list. And so I got 4th place in my first competition. But then I was like, you know what? I want that first place. So
You had a goal.
Yeah, so I decided to do a second competition. And that's when I got my first place.
Oh, wow.
Great.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's very badass, actually. So I'm like, yes.
So something that we've seen a lot of with the shutdown, I guess because of the shutdown in social media, is a lot more virtual fitness coaches popping up and stuff like that. So I don't know if possibly you'd been considering that. And I know that you probably need to know more about somebody specifically before you give them any advice, but is there like one tip with nutrition or fitness that you could give our audience if they wanted to try something today?
Yeah, sure. So I think first thing is like, you have to start eating like better, eating like whole foods. That's one thing, right? But you cannot do that overnight. That's something that you will not. And then the problem is like people start with diets, right? Oh, I'm going to do this diet. And they start doing the diet for a month probably. But then they just get tired, they get bored, and then they say like, you know what, I don't want to do this diet anymore. What they need to do is like, they have to visualize this as a lifestyle, right? Eat better. And when I say like transition to eat better means like, hey, instead like maybe you were eating out like 5-6 days a week, then now just cut it like 2-3 times. And then slowly you are gonna progress, right? Until you get the habit to eat better. That's one thing. The other tip for activity, like one thing is like we need to move, right? Because like the sedentary life is not good for our health. Right? So there's so many options out there, like walking. Go walk around the apartments or the neighborhood that you live, or just like in your bedroom and your living room. You don't need equipment to do a workout, right? You can use your own body to do like a lot of different workouts, and that's what we have seen since the pandemic started, right? Like a lot of people, well, we cannot go to the gym. And it's like, okay, what other options I have? And then start doing like 15-20 minutes of a video. And then slowly you're going to start progressing and getting better and better until you like have 1 hour every day, but at least you have 1 or 2 days of rest, right? You give your body a chance to rest and recover. And so, but
We've
it's just
been getting
like
a lot done with resistance bands in our living room here. You know what I mean? So,
yes.
And
There's
save money on the
options.
gym membership, you know?
Right. Right. It's true.
And that kind of mirrors what we've been doing because we were living downtown in Chicago, both very busy with work. She was working and going to school at the same time. So we kind of fell into that eating out and Grubhub, like delivery service kind of thing way too much. And then we pulled that way back and have been cooking a lot more of our own food. And like you said, using more whole foods and actual ingredients that we process ourselves. And now we're trying to take that one step further, and we've actually got a bunch of jalapenos, and maybe you'll have to see on our Instagram. We've got tomatoes and jalapenos growing, so that's good. It sounds like we're on the right track.
Yes, we are.
Good stuff. That's a good step over there.
Great, and I mean that's awesome to hear about your competition and stuff. Congratulations on the first place.
I love your whole fitness journey. It's very impressive. Like I gotta. Kudos to you. Me quito el sombrero, de verdad. De nada.
So, I mean, I guess this is a good time to transition to your other business, or from your link tree, maybe just one of your other businesses. But I think you have a new fan in Jaira with the set that she bought. So, do you want to tell us a little bit how the fitness transitioned into creating athletic apparel? And while you do that, I'll pull up your website here and show a little bit of what you sell.
Yes. Yeah. So, as I'm fitness passionate, that's one thing. So, since last year, I started thinking like, okay, I want to do my own thing because this is what I see. I don't see myself working for a company for 30 years. Right. I'm like, no, I want to be my own boss. I want to have my own business. I want to have my own income that I don't have to depend on a corporate. Right. So I was thinking about it and just like, okay, what I can do, right, to start my online business, because that's what I had in mind. I had like, okay, I want to have an online business. So I built online store last year, but I went through like a personal situation that kind of like set me back, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to hold it for now. And I was just going to have it in mind, have more ideas. And when the time is right, it's going to happen. And I am a strong believer that things happen when they need to happen because that's God's time. So
absolutely.
So that's when, so that's this year, then it came and I have in mind, I'm going to start my own business. That was, okay, this year is going to be this year. And then the pandemic happened, right? And I was like freaking out. I was like, I don't know if I should start it or no, what I should do. And I had all this thought in my mind, like, what you want to do. And then I was thinking, okay, first I want the online store, but about what? Because I wanted something that can like help people as well, right? Because you want to solve something or help people. But I'm fitness passionate. And I was like, you know what? I always like, most of the time I'm wearing like activewear. Like if I'm not at work, I'm wearing activewear, right? Yeah. So, and for me, it's very important to have comfortable activewear, not even only for my daily, tasks, but also for my workouts.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to start an activewear online store. And I was like, okay, I have already this. Okay, now what is the name that I'm gonna like add to the store? But
so you had no background in apparel or textiles or anything like that?
Wow.
Interesting.
No,
okay.
Not at all. Yeah.
Very cool.
So I started doing research, right? Like reading a lot about online stores, about apparel, like about like others, like companies that have already like activewear, right? And then, so one day came to my mind the name of SimplyEase, because like SimplyEase kind of like, I'm a very like simple person. I'm not the kind of person that like this, como se dice, como mucha
embeleco. Ajá.
Exacto, y embeleco. So that was one thing. And then the other was like, okay, ease is like something that provides like comfortness. And that's when I started, you know what, like that get like they match together. So that's when the name for the store came out. And then, so I started like research suppliers of activewear, like using Google. That was the best tool, right? Like activewear, different suppliers. And then I started like email them, contacting them. Hey, this is my business plan. This is what I want to do. Like what you have there that you can offer me. And of course, the thing is that building a brand, you have to invest a lot up front.
Yes.
And that was my fear, right? Because I was like, okay, we are in the middle of a pandemic. Yes. And well, a lot of people they're losing their jobs, and that's one thing, right?
Right.
But the data shows that a lot of people being like buying online, right?
We had the same thought process.
The same thought.
That's so funny. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, okay. And then I started reading like, by 2021, we are expecting that more like 85% of people will be buying online.
Sure.
And that was like, the time is now then, right?
Yes.
I'm like, I need to start now. And I was like, I'm going to give this step and I'm going to like, okay, I mean, you have the chance that it's not going to work out, but you also have the chance that it's going to work out, right? So it's like exactly. a 50%. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to take the step because this is something that I have in my heart to do. And I take the step and I was like, and I started like getting, in contact with suppliers and they were providing me samples and and they were sending me samples, and that's how I started my online store. And then it came like, okay, how am I gonna launch this, right? I was like, I don't know how to launch. I don't have any experience in marketing. I'm like, and before I was a little scared to, to talk in public or to talk in videos or Instagram.
To put yourself out there, right?
Right. But I was like, that's the only way that I can promote my brand.
Exactly.
There was no other way. I can pay in Facebook, but that's not the best way to start with a brand, right? Because you start paying in Facebook, but like Facebook ads have a lot of different like algorithms that sometimes they don't work out as you expected. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, first thing is the organic, and I'm going to use Instagram to promote it. And of course, I have to model my own clothes.
Exactly.
I was like, well, I don't have people to model my clothes, so I have to do it. And that's how I started, and I'm promoting. And yeah, and I got really good like response from my friends and followers.
Yeah, we're all craving your activewear. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And for the viewers of the podcast, we're just at your home screen right now, so it's sort of scrolling through your products so they can see what everything looks like, and just so they can get an idea. But yeah, the website looks great. So how did prototyping work? Did you just kind of give them an idea of what you wanted it to look like, and they sent you some designs back? Is that
you're talking about the website design or the clothes?
For the clothes themselves, I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
so
I guess for both, both would be interesting to hear about.
Yeah. So for the clothes, so most of these suppliers, they have different ways to work with, right? They have a catalog where they have a lot of designs, right? That you can pick from, and they have different textiles and that you can pick from. But also you can provide your own design. And then you tell them like, hey, this is the textile I want to use. This is the technique that I want to use. And then they do a prototype and a sketch for you. And then you say, hey, I agree with that. And that's then when they create the sample and they send it to you. So I have worked both. Like some of them that they have already pre-fabric, right? And then the some that I design and send it to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That is so impressive. That te estás poniendo diferentes gorros, te estás poniendo, ¿sabes? Polifacética. I love it. Yeah.
And for the website design, so I started building my website, but I got to the point where I was like, well, I don't have enough time to dedicate to complete my website. So I use an app that, website is called Fiverr, where you can find a lot of freelancers. And I pay for one of them to help me to put it together, right? He put it together, and of course, I add my products because I'm the one that I'm taking the picture, and that's the other part.
This is a Fiverr website?
What?
I'm just kind of in shock that this website was built by a Fiverr contractor. It looks great. That's awesome.
Yes.
That's very cool.
Thing is, you have to, like have your own, like, okay, this is what I want, right? This is my request. This is what I want in my stores. I want you to add this and that and that. And then they do it for you, right? And you pay for it, whatever they charge you depends on your request.
Right.
And of course, like, after that, you also can hire a VA, a visual assistant, that can help you to optimize it better and stuff like that. I've been learning to optimize it myself as well, just, to have that skill too.
Yeah.
But sometimes I have to use the VA because the time is not enough, I don't have enough time, so.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you kind of answered a lot of our questions here, but did you recruit any other help, or did you use any YouTube resources or anything like that in particular for the business side of things?
No, so I started, like reading a lot about e-commerce, just Googling. I got a little, it's called e-commerce, like class 101, where it tells you like steps that you can take and like how you can build your own business online. Additional to that, my husband, he have this other program where like they tells you, there are different videos like I would say like it's kind of like the business Netflix.
Okay.
And so yeah, and it has a lot of videos, and I started watching some of those videos, and that helped me also to, like improve my skills and in the aspect of like building the website and stuff like that. But other thing that I have to learn, and that's the crazy thing, I was like, oh my God, now I have to be like, like the one that I have to design and to like model the clothes, and also have to be the photographer for my clothes.
Oh.
So I had to learn, like I had to be, I had to be like a little photography studio and buy all the lights, and at least I had the camera already.
Right.
Nice.
And okay, how I take the pictures that the light is correct, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a really good journey, and I've been learning a lot. Plus, but I'm still learning. It's a learning curve, right?
Of course. Yeah, I definitely was grateful for my job that we've talked about on the show before. We both got laid off at the beginning of the pandemic, and I was grateful for that job. But one of the really frustrating things was that you're locked into maybe three, four tasks that you're doing constantly. And with this, there's been so much to learn. I mean, before we got on the phone with you, or on the call with you today, I was doing some research about how to make sure the audio levels are good on this recording software. And then in the meantime, she's looking up sterilization techniques for the products, and we're sending out testers to different people. And there's just a lot going on, and that's been one of the coolest things for us.
Yeah, it's a hustle, and it's very good to see other people see their journey, their entrepreneur journey. So it's very, it's very comforting. It's like, okay, we're in this together.
Exactly, that's the thing. Like, we're in this together, and as I tell people that sometimes ask me, like, it's not easy. It's not an easy journey, and you're gonna have a lot of failure through your journey. Like sometimes, like for example, like when I have my first order, like it took a lot of time to get to myself, and then I have to send it out to the people. Of course, the delivery time with all the pandemic and stuff have been like crazy. Like they have extended, delay, and I'm like, oh my God. But that's something that was out of my control, right? But it's kind of like doesn't help in your business, a business that you're starting.
Exactly.
Brand new, exactly. You want to make good impressions on your customers.
Right.
Well, that's what the people watching this show would have heard our pre-roll, but we made a quick video explaining some of that stuff and this would be interesting to hear from you too, because something that we didn't really expect, a problem we didn't really expect with the business was all of the shipping issues. And with our product, it's perishable, so there have been a couple instances of spoilage, a couple instances of broken glass and things like that. So yeah, unfortunate, but we work to make it right with the customers. I'm sure you do the same thing if there's ever any problems. But
exactly, yeah, the same. Like the other time I got one of the activewear, and one of the customers told me, hey Kay, the logo is like falling off of the clothes, and I'm like, oh my God, this is in the manufacturing, but the good thing is my logos are heat transfer, so you can just use your iron and it's gonna stick back. So but I want to tell the manufacturer, hey, this is the issue I had. I don't want to have the same issue again, because it's not a good impression, right?
Exactly.
And they work with that. That's how, everything is communication. Like, the suppliers, I am their clients, but I also have clients, right? And we have to have a happy medium. And like, okay, my suppliers, they need to, have their clients happy, as I have to have my clients happy.
Yeah. And I think communication is key, because if you're not able to open that bridge, like there can be like, again, it can be misleading, or it can be like, oh, like, what do you mean? It's like, it's very good that as more open you are and you're more clear. I don't know. I just like transparency and admire other business owners that are transparent as well.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I think that's key. And, and I feel like the first thing is to have a happy customer, right?
Yes.
Because that's how you're going to build your brand. And that's how if you're happy with my product, you are going to spread the word, right?
Exactly.
And that's how it's going to grow. And that's why you want to do, like, you want to have your customers that are happy, and they can spread the word, they can help you to promote and continue growing.
Exactly.
Right.
And one thing, yeah.
Please go ahead.
One thing I wanted to mention is that as part of the vision that I have for my business, because I'm very active on my church as well, and I like to serve. So, and one thing I wanted to do, I think that's the difference in my brand is that every purchase that you do, like I will give back. So it means like I will donate to 3 different charities that I have already in my page. If you go to the page and when you're gonna buy, it tells you like where you want your donation.
I made an order yesterday, but I'm going to pull up the website and show people right now. That's an awesome thing that you've added. How did you decide which charities you were going to go with?
Yeah, so I chose like Sanju Children's Hospital. For me, I don't know, always being like I have this, like emotional feeling, attachment to these kids. They have cancer, and the good thing about Sanju Children's Hospital is that they don't charge their parents anything.
Yeah.
They run through the donations that we make, right? And it's very like I just to put a little bit of of my help there. It just made me happy that I can help other families. And I don't know when I could be in that situation. Maybe one day I have kids and I don't know what's gonna happen with my kids, right?
Yeah.
And so that's something that I wanted to give back to them. And I always donate to them, but now I made it part of my brand as well.
Yeah, I love that there's an intention behind your brand and your business as well.
Right. Yeah.
We talk about this a lot. One of the first companies that I can remember doing some sort of charitable work like that was Tom's. Do you remember the shoe company, Tom's?
Yes, I remember that company.
If I'm not mistaken, there might have been some controversy with the owner at some point, but I really liked the core idea of like you buy one shoe and you donate a shoe, and then what I remember seeing was all of these other companies riding on the coattails of that and copying it and saying we're either going to give you or donate one of our products or give to a charity like you've chosen to do. And I mean, hey, if any trend is going to take off in business, I think that's a pretty good one.
Yes.
So
right. And like thing is like when you are buying, like I'm not asking you for a donation. I'm taking from my revenue and I am giving it back,
That's a good point.
So that's a good thing because I wanted my brand to have a meaning, to have an intention and a purpose, right? Mm-hmm.
That's really awesome. And again, I gave a little example of your website to our viewers here. I showed the website and I showed how you can choose to donate when you make a purchase. That's really awesome. Let me just see if I had any other questions here. You pretty much, you're a natural again. You pretty much ran through my questions. Do you have?
I love to talk. So
I've learned that Puerto Ricans are great storytellers.
Yes, we are.
It's great.
Actually, I wanted to ask you, like, is there like future plans for your brand? Yeah. Like, what's coming next for you and SimplyEase and.
Right. So right now I'm working on different collections, so different styles. Some of the styles that I'm working, they will be from recycling material.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, and that's something that I'm working on the supplier. And so hopefully I will say within like 3 or 4 weeks, I will have those collections to be ready, right, for launching. And also one other part that I'm working is like bringing like resistant bands and also the waist trainer. I use waist trainer for my workouts and a lot of people have been asking me about it. So I was like, you know what? I want to also integrate that into my brand and and also like the resistant bands is a really like I would say it's very useful tool to do your home workouts. So those two things are coming very soon. Within 2 weeks, and then I will continue bringing more collections and different styles, different colors, and one like good thing is about this one is the recycling materials that's gonna be made of.
That's great. And yeah, like we said before, we've been able to get a lot done with resistance bands and like 120-pound kettlebell right here.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you don't need that much equipment to exercise.
Exactly. I love that you're like literally transmitting that message through your brand. It's like there's an intention and it's not that hard to get started. There's,
Right.
It's not that hard.
It's not that hard, it's just everything is in your mind, right?
Yes.
And if you have that desire to do something, just do it, right? Yeah, it will require maybe some money, but always we have family, we have friends that maybe we can ask for it. Maybe you can use savings, or you can use maybe like a little loan. And yeah, at the beginning it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
Because every single business start like that. Actually, right now I'm reading the book of how Nike was built and created.
Oh, wow.
And oh my God, I love the book. It's so, so good. I really recommend it for people that want to start businesses, because like he went through a lot to build Nike, right? And look where Nike is now, right?
Huge,
so
yeah.
So it's very, like that. It really motivates me, right? And it's just like, do not give up. Like you will have upsets. Yeah, you will have things that maybe they're not going to work out as you expected. But that's normal. That's how is the business journey.
Totally agree. We've been watching The Last Dance. I don't know if you've heard of that on Netflix, but it's the story of Michael Jordan's last season. And
oh yes, I started watching it with my husband.
Okay, I was gonna say, yeah, that kind of plays into some of that Nike story stuff that you're talking about.
Yes, and the don't give up kind of mentality, like keep pushing. There's always a little bit more that you, like dar la milla extra,
Yes.
Awesome. Well, we'll be sure to share any links that you post about those new collections once they come out, and please go give her a follow.
Where we can find you?
Yes, so you can find me in Facebook as a SimplyEase, SimplyEase. You can find me in Instagram as well, a SimplyEase. You can find me in Pinterest as well. And you can go to my website that is going to be www.simplease.us.
We're going to make sure that link everything down below so you can easily follow her on her social media. And you can also buy her activewear that is pretty amazing, great quality. So check it out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great review from Jaira. She has one set, and she has a birthday coming up soon, so who knows? Who knows? We'll see.
Maybe the second set is coming.
So, it's really great just to have a conversation with somebody with the lockdown. Sometimes it can get a little bit businessy, every conversation. So do you have any hobbies or anything that you've been doing to stay entertained the last couple months?
Yeah. Well, so for me, it wasn't that much difference because I had to still work as normal.
Right.
I just have maybe like few weeks where we were working from home. Mm-hmm. And then you were like working from home 1 week, and then the next week you were working at the plant, and then you just like switching, right? Mm-hmm. But then they say, you can go back to the plant again. So I've been working in the plant. So that hasn't changed that much for me. Anything, I would say that things that changed is now I'm doing like, delivery of the grocery or pick up. Yeah, but one thing that I started during this pandemic is called, because I read this book that is called Miracle Morning. Mm-hmm. And this Miracle Morning concept is like you wake up in the mornings and you start doing meditation. I do a meditation and prayer. Mm-hmm. And then you do visualization, right? Like, how you see yourself in 5 years, how you see yourself in 10 years. And I read it. Like I wrote everything, and then I read it every day, and I just talk like I am in that moment, right? Like how I see myself in 5 years, but I'm talking right now like, okay, I am a business owner. Things like that.
Like affirmations.
And then, right. And I have the affirmation parts, right, that are very important for us to continue and motivate and inspire ourselves. The next thing is read. I read a book, and now, right now I'm reading the Nike. So I wake up at 5 and I do my miracle morning. I do a cardio, like 25 minutes cardio in my treadmill, and then I do journal. So I start writing in a journal what things I'm grateful for, right? And I do that every day. That's one thing that has become, part of me now and during this pandemic. And now it's a habit, actually. Like I'm waking up at 5 a.m. and doing it like, oh, this feels nice.
Wow, that's really nice.
Yeah. And then after that, I have to go to work, and I work like 9 hours. I get home at 5, and then I work out again. But that time, then I do just like weightlifting type or conditioning training. Mm-hmm. And then I start working in my business and like designs and stuff like that. And when I look at the clock, and I'm like, oh my God, it's almost time to sleep.
Hey, that's what she's been doing as well. You pretty much haven't had time to be bothered by any of this pandemic, just staying busy.
Yes, always staying busy. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I really, encourage everyone to have those little meditation times and reading time, because it helps you to grow, to grow as a person, and also now that you're building a business, is also to help you to build the mindset of a business owner, right?
Yes, exactly. Setting your intentions and like getting your goal, like your fuel to get there, right?
Right.
I've noticed even with myself that I'm a little bit addicted to having an earbud in my ear, whether I'm listening to music or podcasting or anything like that. So we're trying to pull back on all of that. And like you said, I can't say that I consciously meditate. I do try to pray, but it's good even just to unplug from the news and media. And that's probably just as good as a walk for your body. You just can't see it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's different, not everyone will do the same thing, right? So you can do different things that can help you, right? Like during my cardio time, when I walk or run, I listen to podcasts, and that's my time for podcasts. Also, when I'm going to work, that's my time for podcasts.
Perfect. Hey, you can listen to this on your drive to work.
Yeah, I was thinking, I'm gonna listen to this one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, did you have any other questions?
No, I think like we covered everything. Thank you so much for coming into our podcast.
I have one more question.
Oh, you have one more question. Ooh.
Yes.
Is there any way that we could see your dog, or is?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
let me get her.
Thank you.
She's the sweetest dog ever.
Oh, she's so cute.
Oh my goodness.
Yay!
Oh, she's so cute.
She's a golden doodle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She's like a year and a half. And let me tell you, she is the sweetest dog ever. She's like no matter if I go to the bathroom or kitchen, she's behind me.
She's your shadow.
Like if we go to bed, she's laying down with us all the time and curl. She's great dog. I'm so grateful that I have her.
Workout buddy? Does she run?
Oh yeah. So when I work out, I let her with me in the garage, and she just stay with me all the time there. Oh my God, she's great. I was like, some people tell me like, I have never seen that like a sweet dog as this one, because she's so sweet.
That is adorable. She's very adorable.
Yeah, she's good. And right now she looks more beautiful when she has a lot more hair. But the thing about these dogs, they get very like matted, like their hair like tangled, and so I had to shave her like maybe like a month ago. I was like, oh my God. Oh yeah.
She needs some Jibarita's corner, detangle her.
Yeah. You have to share that with me, because I didn't know. So you have to share that product with me, and also your store, so I can promote it in my Instagram as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
And that's so funny. You weren't aware of the hair products. So are you guys, is it the We Serve fellows at V2A that you know each other?
No. Actually, I followed her brand like way before, and like I had Karin, a common friend, and she was like, "Oh, this is like she went to el colegio," and I was like, "Oh, if she went to el colegio, like I have to support her, like duh." So that's how I just ended up like buying my first set and stuff.
So that's the connection.
That's great. I mean, that's how I've been getting a lot of customers, like through like people that went to school with me, college, or people like just like my friends, and they continue talking to other people, and that's how it's been growing. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't know who is this person, but yeah, that's great.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. Well, hey, we made a new friend and a new business friend as well.
Yes, I mean, feel free to contact me if you have questions. I mean, we are kind of the same level right now because we're starting our business, but we can help each other. And that's one thing that, that will be good for us, like, as a small business owners, that we can help each other and support each other as well.
Absolutely. We better uplift each other. That's like communities are,
She has a killer deodorant formula. We haven't gotten it to the point where we're like ready to sell it, but it's not no nasty like iron or anything like that, or aluminum that'll clog your pores, and it works very well. Smells like tea tree. Might work as a collaboration with the Activewear. I don't know.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so we'll have to talk about some of that down the road.
Yeah, I'll have to like ask you later for your address and stuff, so I can send your care package as well.
Oh yeah, sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
that will be cool. And that's a good idea to talk about the deodorant, like how it's gonna work out with the Activewear. That's
exactly.
The Activewear wicks sweat, but then the deodorant takes care of the little bit, so you never know.
Yeah. Good test.
Right.
Good test. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it's been really nice talking to you. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much to you all, because this is a good opportunity for me just not only talk about my brand, but also talk about myself and also meet new people and have new friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, your story's been really interesting, and again, please everybody check the box in the description below for all of the website and social media links. Please give her a follow and pay attention to the hard work that she's doing. And Jaira, you want to let them know? Do you want to tease any upcoming episodes? You want to tease any upcoming videos?
We're working on a tutorial that might come up soon about Jibarita's Corners products, so stay tuned about that. There's also some product, as we teased in the beginning, that might be coming soon, so stay tuned. And yeah, that's all that I kind of want to tease for listeners.
Okay, the rest you'll just have to wait and give us a follow. Our links will be in the description in the box below as well. And as always, thank you for joining us on
La Tertulia.
Thank you, everybody, and have a good night.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. De verdad, un placer. Muchísimas gracias.